Welcome back to Two Stupid Guys Trade Stocks. I'm Vinny.
I'm Dylan.
And today, Dylan's going to walk us through some of his swing trade picks for the week of March 1st. Excited, Dylan?
Yes, sir. And also at the end, we're going to go over all the ones that I've done, the ones that have worked, the ones that haven't. So full transparency here.
Little recap, So always a good thing.
We're going to, instead of doing one low risk, one medium, one high, I did two of each. So we're going to make this a little bit, I'm going to talk kind of fast. So sorry, but I'm trying to get more information without making you sit here for 30 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Here is our disclaimer. We don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
So don't listen to anything we say.
Yeah,
we're not registered broker. There we go. Two stupid guys. See, we don't know anything. If you're watching these picks and you're like, hey, he said this was a buy and then it went down. And then the next week I'm like, yeah, I didn't take it. It's because you did not watch this video. There's a swing trade guide video, and there's a bunch of rules that are not just the buys and sells. So that's why.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely watch that first.
All right. A little U.S. Steel action here, huh?
U.S. Steel. This is one of your boys, Vinny.
I know. It's a real old school company. It's made me some money in the past. But yeah, the infrastructure bill is really the big play here. But I don't think that's anticipated to be till summertime. But
tis not. I know it seems early and you're like, hey, this is like a 2 billion float. Why is this in here for a swing trade? It's actually not 2 billion. I don't remember what it is, but current price 1661. I would say 1661 to 16 is a solid buy. Your sell is going to be around 19, and I'm going to tell you why in a sec. The stop loss is, it kind of depends on where you buy, but 1560 to 15. The 15 is the 100 SMA. So that's why it's a significant level. We're going to switch the graph here, show you what I'm talking about. So I've already swung this once. I bought here at 1624 and I sold at 19 because I didn't think it had any steam. And then it went up to here. I'm like, oh man, I made a mistake. And then it tanked, right? Nothing really huge happened. Like fundamental or news wise, it just really rejected this $20 level hard. Okay. And kind of unwarranted. So that's why I'm going to swing this again.
Yeah.
It's been a really good swing every time it's hit 16. And just so you know, here they had a share repurchase, or not a share repurchase. They offered shares, thus creating this downtrend, and then went back up to 20. So the weekly 20 EMA is at 1580. So the stop loss has to be at least below this.
Yeah.
But that is US Steel.
Nice. All right. Our next one up is PayPal.
PayPal.
Yeah. No, interesting company. Everyone's probably relatively familiar with this company. I know they recently hinted at they were going to be going after Robinhood and creating a new kind of like low-cost broker. But I'm not sure if they've really moved forward with a date or anything like that on that sort of launch. But interesting.
They probably just said that just to make the share price go higher. Like all these companies that are now building EVs and they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Just, hey, I'm an EV Bitcoin stock.
Yeah. I mean, tune in soon for the Two Stupid Guys Build an EV. It's going to be a separate YouTube channel.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. So current price, they're at about, what are they at? They're at 259.85. The buy zone would be about there until about 253. So basically the span of this candle here. Okay. Your sell zone, this is kind of interesting because if you wanted to hold this is a very solid long-term company. Sorry, the stop loss. So it's really up to you. I would sell partially kind of as it crosses these. This is the 9 and 20 EMA. Stop loss, if it loses 250, I'm going to get out of here because that's a great risk to reward ratio. And the 50-day small moving average is right here. What does the weekly look like? Oh yeah, perfect. So they're right. They rejected the 9-week EMA too. They went right back up there. So if I can catch it here, I'm definitely going to take it. We're going to see what happens in that guy. But it's a very good risk to reward because the risk is like if it comes down here $5 and the reward is up to 50. So
nice.
definitely a good low to medium risk option.
Nice. Micron.
Micron. You want to talk about Micron?
Yeah. This is an old friend of mine, Micron Technologies. I owned them a few years ago, I know you did as well. We owned them at less than half of their current share price. But
yeah, I got burned real hard on this one.
Yeah, I mean, I made some money, but nothing nothing to write home about.
This is the stock that made me switch to being a technical analyst, because apparently making your entire debt, like to the entire company in 1 quarter, is not enough for the stock to go up. I thought that was impressive, but maybe it's not. They had like a PE of 3. So
yeah, whatever. I know. They were very well capitalized, well run company, based here in America, in an industry where there's a lot of demand for silicon products right now. So I don't know.
Yeah, really broke my heart. So this buy zone is going to be a little bit different here. We're looking at, so before I show you this real quick, there is a big tech sell-off, right? So this last kind of 2 weeks, Apple tanking right here. This is Apple. This is AMD, same tank, right? This is NVIDIA, same tank. Then this is MU, and this didn't make any sense to me. They had one kind of iffy day and they got bought right back up. So very impressive. They have so much momentum right now. They're about to kind of cross this what is this, 92.65. Oh, sorry, my dogs are going insane right now. Sorry. So basically the buy zone is from pretty much where it's at, $90 as long as it isn't dropping volume. So as long as we don't have a dropping day below 90 on heavy volume, this is a solid buy, kind of where it's at. And the sell zone, I'm going to start taking partials at 93. This is a much lower risk reward because this is a breakout strategy. The stop loss would kind of be, it depends on where you buy. I'm not buying this on Monday. I got to see what happens, but hopefully 87. So this is more of a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. I think it has enough to go to 100.
Nice.
100's a square number, so a lot of times stocks would go for that. No, it's wild. Even like AMD, like just hit 100 like twice, and then it just shot down. It just didn't have enough.
Yeah, it is funny.
So this is a breakout strategy candidate. Candidate.
Oh, candidate. All right. So our next one up here is Hologic. You guys are not familiar with Hologic. They're a medical device like company. They I have a whole value video. I break down the whole company, but definitely a company that's kind of fallen out of favor a little bit. But I think the long-term story financially supports them having a higher valuation than they do at this point.
Yep, absolutely. So they're the buy zone. They're at $72. If they can get to around close to 70, that would be better. You could start partially when you hit 77. The 100 SMA is at 73.50, and the 50 SMA is at 77. The stop loss is going to be a loss of 70. So we're going to switch this chart, and I'm going to show you why here. They lost the 100-day moving average here. Okay, they have bounced to, this is what is 70.65, 71.08. They are not losing this 70 number. They attempted again here, and they have held 71 each time. So if they come to around here, I honestly, even though it is on falling and rising volume, I may take it as close to 70 as possible with a stop loss of maybe 69. Give it some room to wiggle, because the risk to reward ratio on this is wild. If I lose $200, because I took 200 shares or whatever and I lost $1, I'm completely okay with that, because I can gain almost a 10-to-1 or even more risk reward ratio here. So
yeah.
What is there? Overstock.
Yeah.
All right. Getting to the high riskies.
Yeah.
The high riskies, Vinny. These are your favorite.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's interesting. Something like a 8% short float there.
Yeah, yeah, that's not that bad. I think.
Did you know that they take Bitcoin as payment?
Don't make me lose more faith in the stock, please. So buy zone is going to be 62 to 65. They're currently at 67. Yes, they are tanking here. I understand that. However, they are tanking on falling volume, and they have a big support coming up here, right? This 200 SMA. So I really want to see what happens. Okay, so I really want to see what happens Monday. I'm not going to invest right away. I want to see if we approach this. They have approached it a couple times. They hovered it and bounced off fantastically.
Yeah.
So, and they went real high each time. Like they were all the way up here in the 120 range. So, the sell zone, if I bounce it here, I'm going to kind of take partials fairly quickly. But if it drops below like 58 or 59, I'm out. That's the stop loss. You don't want to catch a falling knife on this one. This is another one where you can get a fantastic risk to reward ratio. If you lose, you won't lose a lot. And that's what matters.
Nice. Square. Well, one interesting, fintech company there. Been all the rage of late. Just like
yeah.
a Kathy Woods pick.
Kathy Woods pick, baby.
Nice.
All right. Didn't know that before I picked him, though.
Yeah, Queen Kathy, right? Interesting. I'll pull up the graph here.
All right. So, and if you're watching the video, just go to the green slides if you want to write it down for the week. But it's easier for me to show you on the graph. So they're currently at 230. All right. You want to catch this one on an uptrend, but you also want to be at a good entry, which is 215 to 225. So here to here range. And how do you catch this when it's on an uptrend, right? That means you want to watch what happens as it approaches this number. Yes, it had a good day here, but it was not on the highest volume. I want to see what happens for the next couple days in this whole buying range. If I do take it, and it looks to be pretty resilient around this level, then the stop loss is going to be below this 100 SMA. I'll give it an extra $1 to move. This, moves like crazy, but this is another fantastic risk to reward ratio. The weekly graph bounced off this 20 EMA real hard. So I wanted to approach this one more time. It may take off without me though, and that sometimes happens. So I think it's going up though.
Nice.
And if it doesn't, well, as long as I didn't take it because it didn't follow the other rules, I won't lose any money.
Yeah. Now here's your real fun one. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't like to play earnings, and I'm sorry, but this is a direct earnings play. So also, if you watch the video on the swing rules and it says don't play earnings, just do what I say, not what I do. So this is a big bang one here. All right, let me pull this up. Fubo. All right, so I think they're at a 28% short float right now, that's great.
Yeah, just post about it on Reddit and see what happens.
Yeah, well, actually, Wall Street Bets Fubo mentions have skyrocketed, Vinny.
Oh, okay.
Also, yeah, I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not playing it.
Yeah, might work.
So right here, this was when it had a 70 short float, and those shorts got eaten alive, and then it came all the way down. It bounced off of this 50 SMA a couple good times. So I thought it would again. Full disclosure, I'm long. I think I'm cost average at like 45. I do think it's a really solid company, so I'm not worried about all this. Even if it goes down to 28, I'm still going to hold it because I actually like the company a lot. But to swing it, you want to between the current price and $32 here. This is your buy zone, but you also want to watch what happens. They report earnings. I think it's March 2nd, Penny, right?
It was and March 2nd after the bell.
March 2nd after the bell. So even if they kill it in their subscriber growth, because this is a low float stock, this is going to bounce down here and go all the way up here, and it doesn't mean anything. That will happen after hours. before anything's recorded, because all these hedge funds will place their bets on what's going to happen, and it's just wild to watch. So if you're watching, just don't. It's terrifying. But stop loss, if you were to do it, would be kind of below this line. If it loses this, it's not looking too good for Fubo. It is bouncing off this 20 EMA. Let me go back to the daily. But if it loses this 100 SMA, it could be in trouble here. And this could turn into a long-term trade for Dylan.
Oh,
that happens. So, yeah. High risk. Be careful. Definitely a little bit of an earnings play. So
earnings are interesting. In case you guys have never seen that YouTube video of the guy betting against Apple on earnings. So, yeah.
It's not a good idea.
Yeah, it can be interesting.
So these were a lot of other stocks that I was watching. They did not make the cut. However, if you want more options, Citi is a very solid stock. If it goes to a pullback to around 63, I'm probably going to take it. Activision, I'm looking for consolidation around the 50-day small moving average. Kind of a lot of consolidation. It's going down a little bit. EBIX, I'm going to come back to in a second. REI is an oil play. Oil is back up to $60 a barrel very quietly. No one's talking about it.
Yeah.
They went from like 20 to 60 kind of fast.
Except for Buffett, who bought Chevron.
Well, you know what? Okay, I thought I was being sneaky. Zoom actually looks fantastic, but they have earnings tomorrow, and I don't do earnings plays except for the times that I do earnings plays. So,
yep.
Tesla, I'm looking for a bounce off the 100 SMA. Apple, I'm looking for 113. Vinny hopes that won't happen.
I'm okay with it if it does.
He's long in that.
Yeah, I am very long in that.
I'll show this one too. Sava, I'm looking for a bounce off the 20 EMA daily. It's super risky though.
Yeah. Biotech.
It's real risky. INMD, I'm looking for. It's actually doing very well. I'm just hoping it comes back to 60 so I can get an entry. If I do enter. So go back to the graph. We're going to talk about Sava super fast. So this is just a nightmare, right? So maybe stay away from this one. I'm just going for a bounce off this. This is a very short-term play.
Yeah.
There we go. SPC has lost like almost half, not quite, but almost half of its value. If it comes down to here, I may go real hard at it. So
interesting. Yeah, I have a tiny position in SPCE. Like I guess they said they're not going to be doing their next test until May now, which is kind of why the stock has been down so much over the last few days.
Yeah, so if I can get it down there, that's going to make me very happy. EBIX, they just hit my scanner, so I don't know who they were, but they had this monster drop from 51 down to 24, right?
Yeah,
which is insane. Look at that, and they were like all the way up here. They were in the 80s up here. So I looked at what happened, and I guess someone who was auditing their stuff, long story short, they may have committed fraud. So, which is, I don't know the extent of it. I didn't research it a lot. But if they hit kind of this level here, 1784, I'm going to buy some just because I'm going to do some more research. But if they go from, 50 to 17, I'm going to ride that.
Are you familiar with the story of Luckin Coffee?
Yeah, no, I'm going to look at the extent of the fraud, Vinny. All right. They're claiming it was only like 1% of their segment.
Yeah. Well, I'll have to find you a graph on that one before. If you've
I know exactly what their graph looks like. It is a slide. It's just a downhill slide until bankruptcy.
Exactly. Bankruptcy, lawsuit, jail.
Yeah, exactly. All right. God. Go back to the thing real quick. Next slide. So these are the ones I've done so far. Neo hit the stop loss. There was a bloody EV correction, actually whole market correction. So if you were in this, you died. Plug, it did not meet criteria. CLSK, you could have gotten up to 8R or 8, whatever you risked. So that's 8-to-1 ratio is pretty solid. If you get half of that, because you can't ever play a stock perfectly, you're never going to buy at the low and sell at the high. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
If you're like, it's back to where I bought it, that's your fault. You should have sold, because 8 times what you risked is fantastic. PLTR hit my stop loss. I didn't sell. I actually held on to it. I know. Yeah. Do what I say, not what I do.
You and Kathy Wood are in the same boat.
Yes, we are.
She bought more.
I'm also did. So
perfect.
ATNX, it did not meet criteria. It fell on a heavy day. NUS is looking really good. I'm currently up 4R, and I could get another 10R out of this. So
solid. I plan on holding them for the next 6 months at least. So they look pretty solid from a financial standpoint. So
I think they can get to 55 in the next 2 weeks. So
yeah, seems reasonable.
Yeah, that's it, dudes. Stay green.
Yeah,
follow the rules.
Exactly.
The rules are very important.
Except when Dylan breaks them. He's allowed to break his own rules.
Yeah, but the big rule though is you don't buy on the downtrend. You wait till it to settle. You buy on the slightly uptrend. Otherwise, you're catching a fall night. Or when it's on heavy volume, it's terrifying. It's not
when in doubt, you just sit back and watch it, see what the hell it's going to do.
Yeah, exactly. There's always more opportunities.
Let it declare itself. Well, thanks for joining us. We'll hope you guys will join us again next week. And you can, by all means, check out my value investing pick on Hologic. So.
Absolutely. And if you made money, subscribe.
Exactly.
Do it. Have a good one.
You too.